everyone, my name is Janafit Dukay and today I'm going to tackle about human trafficking. Human trafficking is a complex and pervasive crime that involves the exploitation of individuals through force, fraud, or coercion for various purposes such as forced labor, sexual exploitation, or involuntary servitude. This illicit trade affects millions of people worldwide, transcending borders, culture, and socioeconomic classes. At its core, human trafficking involves the violation of basic human rights, as victims are stripped of their autonomy and subjected to conditions to modern-day slavery. Traffickers often prey on vulnerable population, including migrants, refugees, and those living in poverty. The tactics employed by traffickers are multifaceted, ranging from physical violence to psychological manipulation, making it a clandestine and challenging crime to combat. One of the key components of human trafficking is the recruitment process. Traffickers employ cunning methods to lure potential victims, promising them better opportunities or a brighter future. False job offers, deceptive marriages, and fraudulent promises of education are common tactics used to exploit individuals who may be desperate for a way out of difficult circumstances. Once ensnared, victims find themselves trapped in a web of coercion and abuse. Traffickers utilize violence, threats, and debt bondage to maintain control over their victims. The isolation of victims, both physically and emotionally, further complicates their ability to escape or seek help. In many cases, victims may be unfamiliar with their surroundings, language barriers may exist, and the fear of reprisals against themselves or their families may prevent them from seeking assistance. Human trafficking takes various forms, with forced labor and sexual exploitation being the most prevalent. In the realm of forced labor, individuals are coerced into working under exploitative conditions, often in industries such as agriculture, construction, and domestic work. The victims may endure long hours, hazardous working conditions, and midge of or non-existent wage. Sexual exploitation involves the coercion or deception of individuals into engaging in commercial sex acts against their will. Traffickers often control every aspect of the victims' lives, from their movement to their earnings, perpetuating a cycle of abuse that can be challenging to break. Victims of sexual exploitation may also face stigmatization and legal repercussion, further hindering their ability to seek help. Efforts to combat human trafficking require a comprehensive approach that includes prevention, prosecution, and protection. Governments, law enforcement agencies, and non-governmental organizations play crucial roles in raising awareness, enforcing anti-trafficking laws, and providing support for victims. International cooperation is essential to address the transnational nature of human trafficking and hold traffickers accountable.
Trafficking involves the requirement, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons through force, coercion, or deception for the purpose of exploitation. Examples include: number 1, sex trafficking, forced prostitution, or other forms of sexual exploitation. Number 2, labor trafficking, forcing individuals to work under exploitative conditions, often in industries like agriculture, construction, or domestic work. Number N, prostitutions are not positive examples, There are forms of exploitation and often involve human trafficking, forced labor. This occurs when individuals are compelled to work against their will, often through coercion, threats, or physical violence. It is a severe violation of human rights. Prostitution in the context of trafficking, when individuals are forced, coerced, or deceived into engaging in commercial sex acts. It falls under the umbrella of sex trafficking. This is a form of exploitation and it's crucial to differentiate it from consensual and legal adult sex work. Both forced labor and sex trafficking are serious crimes, and efforts are made globally to combat these forms of exploitation and protect the rights of those affected. If you have a specific question or need more information, feel free to ask.
Terrorism offering big jobs abroad. So, terrorism is a serious global issue that involves the use of violence and intimidation to achieve political, ideological, and religious objectives. So, it's often driven by extremist ideologies and can manifest in various forms, including attacks on civilians, infrastructures, and government institutions. While terrorism can be motivated by a range of factors, including political grievances and religious belief, it is crucial to remember that it remains a criminal act that is universal condemned. So, one of the primary reasons behind offering fake jobs abroad as part of terrorist recruitment is to establish networks and connections in foreign countries. By recruiting individuals and sending them overseas, terrorist organizations can be create sleeper cells or establish operational bases in different locations. So these cells can then carry out attacks, gather intelligence, facilitate financing, or recruit more individuals to join their cause. So one tactic that some terrorist groups have employed is offering fake jobs abroad as means to be recruit individuals who may be vulnerable or desperate. These fraudulent job offers can be used as a guess to lure unsuspecting individuals into terrorist networks or to exploit them for various purposes such as fundraising, propaganda, or carrying out attacks. So there are several reasons why this approach might be appealing to the terrorist group. So one is financial gain. So offering fake jobs abroad allows terrorist organizations to raise funds through recruitment fees or by exploiting individuals for money, laundering, and other illicit activities. So the recruitment and regulation. By offering employment opportunities, terrorist groups can gain the trust of potential recruitment and gradually interpret them with extremist ideologies. This process may involve propaganda, ideologies training, and isolation from mainstream society. So remove movement and access. Terrorist organizations may use individuals recruited through fake jobs offer as operatives to facilitate the movement of people, weapons, or funds across borders, thereby supporting their operational capabilities. So it is important to recognize the dangers associated with fake jobs offers from a counter-terrorism perspective. So exploitation of vulnerable individuals. Terrorist organizations often target individuals who are economically disadvantaged or marginalized or facing personal hardship. By exploiting their vulnerabilities and offering false promises of employment and better life, they can manipulate these individuals into participating in their activities. So, disruption of communities and trust. Terrorism, including recruitment efforts through fake jobs offers, can disrupt trust within communities and erode social cohesion. This can lead to the marginalization and isolation of certain groups, fostering an environment conducive or legislation and further recruitment. To counter terrorism and combat the use of fake job offers, international cooperation and multi-pronged strategies are essential. So the public awareness and education. Governments and civil society organizations should prioritize raising awareness about the tactics employed by terrorists, including the use of fake jobs offers, educating individuals on how to recognize and report suspicious activities can help safeguard potential targets. So, and also stronger regulation and enforcement. Governments should enhance regulation and enforcement mechanism to disrupt recruitment networks and the financial activities of terrorist organizations.
I'm the cadet David Glenn Puspus, and my topic is all about the three elements in human trafficking. The first element is the acts, and the second is the means, and the last is the purpose. The element acts of forced labor is met when the trafficker recruits, harbors, transportation, provides, or obtain a person for labor or services. Trafficking in person refers to the recruitment or obtaining, hiring, providing, offering, transportation, transfer, or without the victim consents or knowledge within across national borders by means of threat or use of force. That's all.
Three elements of human trafficking. The means. Element of forces labor include a trafficker's use of forces, fraud or coercion. The coercive shame can include threat or forces, debt, manipulation, withholding a pay, confiscation of identified documents, psychological coercion, reputational harm, and manipulation of use of addictive substance, threats to other people, or other form of coercion.
Heart of the purpose elements manifesting in forms such forced labor, sexual exploitation, slavery, or even the trade human organs. The traffickers motivates mere financial gain. They seek control, strip victim of their autonomy and a culture of fear. The addressing human trafficking in the Philippines approach strengthen law enforcement and enhancing cross-border cooperation and raising public awareness and crucial. Additionally, uh, tax root cause such poverty and lack of education and the vulnerabilities that traffickers exploit only through strategy can the nation hope to eradicate this grave violation of human rights and provide the brighter future for those uh, ensnared in clothes of trafficking.
Migration often driven by economic, social, or political factors. It can expose individuals to trafficking risk as they may become targets for traffickers who exploit their desperate situations. Protecting the human rights and migrants involves addressing the root causes of migration. It is improving the living conditions and implementing policies that prevent trafficking and provide support for vulnerable populations. Trafficked person may experience exploitation, abuse, and coercion during their journey. Addressing human trafficking is crucial to safeguarding the rights and dignity of migrants.
Migration rights are about treating everyone fairly no matter where they come from. It means that people have the right to live, be free, and stay from matter if someone is from a different country or has a different skin color. They should be treated the same way. If someone is in danger, they should be able to go to another, should be able to country to safe. Everyone should have a chance for a good life with a home, food, and healthcare. Respecting the dignity of each person is really important in migration. This means that we should be kind and understanding to everyone, no matter if they move to a new place or were born there. We can learn from each other and make our communities better when we treat everyone with respect. Education is a big part of this. We can teach people about different cultures and help them understand that we are all human beings deserving of respect. By working together and helping each other, we can we can create places where everyone feels welcome feels welcome. Everyone feels. Thank you.
Human trafficking is a significant adverse effect on globalization as it undermines human rights, fuels organized crime, and tarnishes the reputation of countries involved, hindering international cooperations and trust. Human trafficking negatively impacts globalization by perpetuating a cycle of exploitation and violating the principles of human rights. This illicit trade often involves forced labor, sexual exploitation, and other forms of abuse, contributing to the global environment where individuals are treated as conditions rather than as human beings. An example of how human trafficking adversely affects globalization is when forced labor in the supply chain of multinational corporations is exposed. This not only tarnishes the reputation of these companies, but also raises ethical concerns globally, impacting consumer trust and contributing to the erosion of fair labor practices on a global scale.